Hey everyone, coming to you live from my garage. I'm talking a little low, but I was just looking over maps and stuff of Maine and the area, Lewiston, where the shootings took place and stuff. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong or anything like that, and someone's probably going to come out because I just heard someone, but I don't know. For some reason, I keep thinking about not just I don't know this person personally or anything like that. I don't have anything of his. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but okay, an escape route, if you think about it. He's military trained as far as we are aware. So he's not a dumbass, basically. He might be a cold-hearted person, but he's not stupid. And if you're going to do something like this, which is okay, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if this makes sense or not, but this is what I'm thinking. He when he went to a mental facility, like a mental ward or whatever, for like a couple weeks or however long he was there, um he had delusions and he was hearing voices and stuff like that, but he had said that he wanted to shoot up the Army Reserves in Saco or something. So it's almost like it's a diversion if you think about it, because Saco is south. Saco is, I don't know, it's near Portland and all that shit. And Lewiston is more northern when it comes to Maine. And then he gets released, he does whatever the hell he does, and then this happens, and he does this shooting, but his vehicle is found in Lisbon. I believe it was in Lisbon, Maine, which isn't far from Lewiston. Actually, that's the town I got married in with my second ex-husband. But regardless of me, that just flashed. That's so weird. The lights were flashing too earlier before I finished this. I was watching something on this, and all of a sudden I heard static, like, and the lights, including the sign outside, started flashing. It was weird. But, anyways, regardless of that, there's something. Okay. I don't know if people are looking into this or not. They could be, because the police will say so much to the public and they have shit that they keep to themselves. But I'm just thinking from like a tactical standpoint, and I don't know if I'm thinking from his perspective or not. I really don't know, because I do tap into people. But regardless, this is just, I guess, my perspective. Where if you think about his training, you think about his mentality, okay, regardless of training, which would be that I got to be strategic with this, because this was planned. Because if it wasn't, it would have been sloppy. He would have been caught by now. So, okay, he's in a mental facility before this happens. He claims that he wants to shoot up a place that's more southern Maine, and then shoots up multiple places in a more northern Maine. It's not really. It's like north. I don't know. It's not that northern, but it's not where he said. Basically, it's north of where he said. And then his vehicle is found in Lisbon. And if you follow the river, like if you look at the map and you follow the river, yeah, it goes south and it also goes north. But if you're thinking with reason, the way that the water flows would be southern. So it would be a lot harder to travel north via boat. So a lot of people, like, if, I don't know, I'm just thinking, like, okay, if I wanted to throw people off, I would park my car somewhere and make you think I took a boat. And you're going to think, because of the current, that I'm headed south. So I'm going to end up in New Hampshire, because that's the way the river flows and all that shit. But what if he either had a secondary vehicle or an accomplice? Whether this accomplice is in the know or not, which they would be now if that was the case, but regardless, either an accomplice or a secondary vehicle, or went on foot and stole a vehicle. Either or. But No vehicles have been reported stolen that I'm aware of. Doesn't mean that's not happening. I'm just saying, like, you got to think of all these scenarios. And I would think that would be a diversion because that was such an easy find. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. Because every time I think of this, and I'm not usually wrong with my predictions, but I don't care if I am. This is what I'm thinking. He's going north. He's not local right now. He's going north. And that would actually be very smart because I'm not saying I'm on his side, trust me. Like, I know people are going to say crap like what the hell. No, that's not what this is about, cuz fuck him, he needs to get caught. But if he was smart and tactical, he would go north. Not only because the Canadian borders Maine north, it and you can cross the border, you just can't come back. But if he crosses the border, that's a totally different jurisdiction for one. And most people want to flee the country, and in Maine, you go to Canada. You know what I mean? Especially if people are thinking you're gonna head through all the states. Like, we're gonna drive through all this shit. Yeah, why do that when you can just go north? And even if you can't make it to the border, if you get up, northern Maine is like nothing but fucking woods. It's very hard to find somebody. Yeah, it gets cold, but snow hasn't, like, we don't have snow yet. The timing is actually kind of perfect because it's it's cooler, it's cooling down, but it's not, you can survive it. It's not like frigid weather yet. There's like, maybe there's snow up there, I doubt it, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. And helicopters and shit like that, it'd be very hard to see, especially up there because of the tree line. Just some random thoughts, I guess. 7 minutes and 22 seconds in, which 28 now, but I don't know. I want this motherfucker to get caught because what he did was just horrendous. It's heinous. It's awful. It's fucking horrible. Like, I don't even know why anyone would do such a thing in the first place, and I know people do it all the time across the country every fucking year. And usually these people have some type of mental health issue. And, you know, if I don't know what his health background is. I don't know his background. But regardless of his background, anyone who usually wants to be in the military, they all think very similarly. And then you're trained a certain way and whatever when you go into the service. I don't know how much training he has. I don't know any of that. But most people that go into the service, they think very similarly. And they're very strategic. They're logical. You know, like, we got to strategize kind of thing. And there's a lot of planning that went into this. Because, like I said, if there wasn't, he would have been caught really quick. Because I'm telling you, 90% of the criminals in this state, at least, I don't know about anywhere else, whatever, but in this state, they're dumb. It's like an act of passion, or they just, you know, an act of passion, the heat of the moment, I'm pissed, whatever, whether it's multiple people, one person, whatever. But if you're going to actually plan out something like this, you're going to have an escape plan. And it's not going to be to go to New Hampshire, because that is the automatic response. So basically, the state border is going to be closed off to you. And you know this, because that's what they're going to do. You know, at least reasonably in your mind, you would think, even if they don't, you would think they would. Because Maine borders New Hampshire. Yeah, it borders, New Hampshire, because you have to go through New Hampshire to get to Vermont, whatever. Doesn't matter. So whatever state borders whatever state, you think about that. And in Maine, it's It's the fucking ocean, it's New Hampshire, and fucking Canada. At least a piece of it. I'm just saying. And I highly doubt he's going to the ocean. I don't know. I feel north. Go north. And I've said that in readings before, but sometimes when I say little things, I don't know where they go. And with this whole situation, it kind of makes me wonder if little tidbits were adding up to this. And not because it can be stopped. Like I said, it can't be. It's already been done. And it wouldn't have been able to be stopped from the start because there are certain things that we can't control. But we can at least heed warnings when we have weird feelings. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this feels off. I ain't gonna do it, kind of thing. Just like when I was 14 and I was with my boyfriend, and that was the time when I did die and I had to be revived. I had a bad feeling before I even went down to that camper. I had this pit in my stomach, and I'm like, something feels wrong. I don't want to be here. I wanted to run away. Like, every fiber of my being wanted to run. But I didn't because I trusted my boyfriend and whatever. And of course, I should have listened to myself over anyone else, which is the point of spiritual messages. And that's why I drive this home to everyone, especially the younger crowd. So any of my kids' friends who watch, my kids, whatever, any youthful energies. Trust me, I'm not just preaching to the choir here. I've made mistakes, and listening to yourself above anyone else and anything else is most important, which is where these spiritual messages come in. But when it comes to this situation, like I said, my heart goes out to everyone involved. It's so crazy how close to home it is. I'm trying not to cry. It's scary because actually Smeggy's, that bar, it's a pool hall. This was years ago, but that's the last place my second ex-husband and my sister and I went to play pool. And when you think about things like that, I know that was a while ago, but it's like, I've been there. And actually on one of my most recent birthdays a few years ago, whatever, I had considered going back because it was a fun place. But it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter the establishment. I could say, hey, I'm running to Walmart to go buy diapers and never come back because some fucking asshole decides to do whatever they do. Like, you just never know. Like, you literally never know. And everyone thinks, oh, that will never happen to me. But all those people that were affected last night and in any other incident think the same thing. They went there because they didn't think any different, So if you have the ability to listen to yourself, if you listen to yourself with the people around you, listen to yourself with where you're going as well. And also, if you see this suspect or person of interest, that Robert Card person, do not approach him. I know police have said that, and newscasters and whatever. That would just not be a good thing. I don't really think many people are gonna run into him though. Why would you put your ass out in the open? I mean, you could think of it this way though, where okay, everyone's gonna think I'm in hiding, so I'm gonna be out in the open. But if everyone knows your face, why the fuck would you be out in the open? You know what I mean? So I guess you gotta take in the details of the situation. But for some reason, I feel north. I could be wrong, and if I am, it is what it is. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I don't know. I was just thinking of that, and I wanted to say it, regardless of being right or wrong. In this situation, I just feel north for some reason. And I guess in my brain, in my head, what I'm thinking right now, that would actually be what's least expected and easier to hide. And I'm not giving tips. I'm really not. But you think about it, in any state that has wooded areas, you know, if you're in the city or towns, it's easier to be found versus if you go to the fucking mountains or if you're hidden in the woods. You know what I mean? That's just common fucking sense. And now I'm staring at that and it says warning. But I don't know, I feel like the car being at the boat launch at the river was a decoy. I don't know, I feel like that was put there on purpose. I don't really feel like there's much significance to that. It's just in my opinion. And my personal concern, minus, you know, me channeling or anything, my personal concern is that if he doesn't get caught, he's gonna do it again. Because he probably will. Somewhere else. For some reason, I just heard in my head, this isn't the end of it. So I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means, but that's what I heard. This isn't the... Oh, it hurts. This isn't the end of it. I don't normally smoke on camera, but you know, it is what it is. This isn't the end of it. I don't know, I wanna... That's all that's coming to me right this second. That's all I wanted to talk about right this second, and I know that's not much. I've had planes fly over my house, multiple, looking and searching. So, you know, the authorities are doing what they can, and so are civilians, because some of them were civilian planes. So people are helping out. But, because that's what we do up here. We take care of each other, or that's what we're supposed to do, at least. I'm just saying. Yeah. It's really scary. It's really scary. And what bothers me is, I'm not scared, but what bothers me is my daughter was scared. Like last night, she was fucking terrified watching the news. I woke up because the babies woke up, or one of them did, and she was downstairs like fucking with a window, and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm making sure all the windows and doors are locked in this place. She was terrified. And it's sad that people have to feel that way. You know, no matter where you live, if you feel that way, it's a terrifying thing. You know, because, I mean, I guess look at it this way. This is the way I look at it personally, regardless of intuitive messages and whatever. He was out there before he was ever recognized, before he ever did anything, and he was a danger to society then. But none of us knew. Now that we know, it's scary, and he's still out there. But he was capable before. You know, he was capable of doing what he did before, because he did it. He's still capable of that. It's still the same thing. Like, I guess, I don't know, it's hard because you want to be safe, but you also, you know, you need to be smart, you need to be safe and all that. And I totally get that, but the danger was still there, and it didn't stop you from living. Because the danger is always going to be there, no matter who does what. Because he was like one mass shooting out of 500 and something just this year in the U.S. Just in the U.S. And I don't know the body counts and whatever for each and every one of those. But if you look at it from that perspective, if you look at it from that perspective, the danger's always around, and it really is, which is why you need to listen to yourself. But I guess that's my take on it at this time, in this moment, and that's just what I wanted to say. But I love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.